What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. My next topic, I wanted to get into the artist DAngelo. DAngelo, the greatest musician, they never gave his flowers. When we talk about the greatest musicians of all time, certain names always come up. Prince, Stevie Wonder, James Brown. But one name that never gets enough respect, DAngelo. Not just a singer, not just a songwriter, a true musician in every sense. He's one of the most slept on artists of our generation. A man who can write, produce, arrange, play multiple instruments, and command the stage like the greats who came before him. But because he refused to play the commercial game, because he moved on his own time and his own terms, DAngelo never got the mainstream recognition he deserves. And that's a shame, because if we really look at his impact, his musicality, and his legacy, he's undeniably one of the greatest of all time. Let's start with his success in the mid-90s. DAngelo burst onto the scene with his debut album, Brown Sugar. It wasn't just a hit. It changed the landscape of R&B. At a time when the genre was dominated by polished, radio-friendly tracks, DAngelo brought something different, a raw, organic, soulful sound that felt like it was pulled straight from the church and the jazz clubs of the past. Songs like Brown Sugar, Lady, and Cruisin' showed his ability to blend soul, funk, and hip-hop seamlessly. He wasn't following trends, he was setting them. But then came Voodoo, the album that cemented his genius. Released in 2000, it wasn't just music, it was a masterclass in groove. Stripped down funk and layered complex composition, produced largely by DAngelo himself, it pulled influences from James Brown, Jimi Hendrix, Sly Stone, and crafted a sound that was both timeless and completely unique. And then, of course, Untitled, How Does It Feel dropped, and the world went crazy. That music video, just DAngelo shirtless, standing there, vulnerable, it turned him into a sex symbol. But ironically, that same video started to drain him. Suddenly, people were talking about his body more than his music. And for a man so deeply connected to his art, that didn't sit right. Now let's talk about his roots. Michael Archer, born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. He grew up in the church. His father was a Pentecostal minister, and you can hear those gospel roots in every note he sings, in every chord he plays. As a kid, he was a prodigy. Winning talent shows, playing multiple instruments, but he wasn't just playing music, he was studying it. He was diving into the greats, Parliament, Marvin Gaye, Prince, Al Green, even rock legends like Jimi Hendrix and the Beatles. He wasn't trying to be just an R&B star, he wanted to create masterpieces, and that's exactly what he did. After the success of Voodoo, he disappeared. The industry wanted to box him in, make him a sex symbol, a radio-friendly star. But DAngelo never cared about industry games. He struggled with the pressure, with personal demons, with the weight of his own legacy. He didn't rush to put out music just to stay relevant. He waited, he took his time. And then, after 14 years of silence, he dropped Black Messiah in 2014, and it was worth the wait. A politically, funk-driven, deeply soulful album that proved his genius hadn't faded. Songs like The Charade spoke on police brutality, Really Love reminded us of his romantic soul, and the whole album was a statement. DAngelo wasn't here for fame, he was here for the music. And that's the problem in the world where celebrity and attention matter more than talent. DAngelo never played the game. He didn't sell himself out. He didn't chase chart positions. He didn't force himself to stay in the public eye. And because of that, he doesn't get the recognition he deserves. But let's be clear, he's in the same league as the greats. When you think about true musicians, people who don't just perform, but create, who understand music on a deep, soulful level, DAngelo stands among the best. He's not just an R&B artist. He's a rock star, a funk legend, a soul icon. And the fact that he doesn't get talked about the way we talk about Prince or Marvin or Hendrix, that's a failure on our part. So, if you haven't really dug into his catalog, do yourself a favor. Listen to Voodoo from start to finish. Spin Black Messiah and hear the genius in every note. Go back to Brown Sugar and appreciate the purity of his sound, because one day people will wake up and realize DAngelo was one of the greatest to ever do it. But if you really know music, you already know. What do you think? Is DAngelo one of the most slept on musicians of all time? Drop a comment below and let me know if you love real music. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.